Hi. As a diabetic, I know firsthand about the challenges of riding while managing diabetes, particularly while touring. As bikers, we have a lot of variables that we face while traveling that can present significant challenges. So today, I'm launching a video series focused on just that. Over this riding season, I'll be releasing content discussing diabetic challenges for riders around things like monitoring glucose levels, keeping meds cooled during both short trips and while touring, maintaining balance in glucose levels while riding, and then also things like dealing with extreme heat. Now, if you're diabetic or you know someone who is, and you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell so that you're notified when new videos are released. But today, I want to talk about how I've changed how I monitor my glucose levels while I'm riding, and I stay on top of where they are. This is particularly important while touring, as we're crushing a ton of miles every day. And in the summer, we're often dealing with extreme temperatures. And let's face it, we're probably not eating the best food that we could while we're out riding. The last thing we need to do is to suddenly have our glucose levels dip too low or go too high. The effect of that on our ability to concentrate and stay alert can be disastrous or fatal. For years, I was sticking myself to draw blood to take glucose readings throughout each day, just like tons of diabetics do every day. That's a total pain to do during a day's normal activity. But when you're riding, it's a huge challenge. And when things start going hinky, taking a reading to find out that you're going low or you're already high is often too little, too late. And it definitely puts you in a reactive posture when that occurs during a ride. Now, a couple of years ago, I decided that I'd had enough of that, and I switched to wearing a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM. And it's been a total game changer for me. If you're not familiar with CGMs, it's a small device that you attach to your body that inserts a very small, fine filament underneath your skin. I use the FreeStyle Libre 2. This that I'm showing here on the screen is one I just took off about an hour ago because it reached the end of its 14-day life expectancy and expired. This CGM takes a glucose reading once a minute and then records your level. It keeps a rolling data window of 8 hours stored in the device itself. Using an app on your smartphone, you simply press a button on the app, then touch your phone to the sensor to transfer that data to your phone. What you see is your current level, where it's at, and also a graph depicting your glucose levels over that rolling window. And that window is appended to your previous readings. So if you take a reading every 8 hours, then, well, you capture an entire 24-hour period of data. You can view that data in a variety of reports in an app to track your glucose levels over time. It also reports your daily averages and how much time you've spent within your optimum range. There are a ton of reports to slice the data. I've used this to collect data often to see exactly what impact new or different types of food has on my glucose levels. That helps me fine-tune what to stay away from and what to take in given my current state. One of the things that I found extremely useful with the Libre 2 is that when you set it up, you tell the app what your desired glucose range is. With my current situation, I set mine for a lower level of 90 and an upper level of 170. You can also set alarms around that so that you get a notification from your phone when you exceed either end of this range. Because the CGM is constantly measuring your glucose and comparing it to that defined range, when it determines that you've exceeded either end, it will alarm you via your phone without you having to do anything to check your levels. This is extremely useful while you're out there riding. If you've set your range correctly, this means that you will be alerted that something's happening before you experience a problem, allowing you to pull over and do whatever you need to do to get things right. And we'll get more into that in a future episode. Now, a lot of people are nervous about CGMs because they think they're painful to apply, or they're afraid that they're going to get caught on something, it's going to get ripped out. Applying the Libre 2 is super easy. And the first time you apply one, you will probably be more startled by the click from the applicator than by the insertion of the filament itself. Honestly, you can't even feel the filament being inserted. Let me show you how easy it is to apply. This is the box the Libre 2 comes in. This is the applicator. and this contains the CGM itself. To get ready to apply the CGM, you peel off the top of the sensor container, unscrew the applicator, then align the lines and push down on the applicator. Next, wipe off the area where you want to apply it with an alcohol wipe and let the area dry. I normally apply mine on the back of my arm, and I alternate arms every 14 days. Remove the applicator with the CGM attached, then firmly press it to the area until you hear the applicator click. I normally hold it there for 10 seconds to let the adhesive get fully sealed and seated before pulling the applicator back. That's it. Super easy and not even the slightest bit of pain. The next step after properly ditching the used kit is to open the app on your phone and tap the button to take a reading, or it may say activate new sensor, depending on the state of the app. It will activate the sensor and start a 60-minute countdown. After that 60 minutes has passed, you can start taking readings through the app. The app will let you know when it's time. The sensor will last for 14 days, and the app will start alerting you 72 hours before that it's going to expire, so you won't get surprised. To put it out there, there are products on the market by way of adhesive preps that you can apply to your skin before you apply the sensor, as well as patches that you can put over the sensor in case you're worried it will come off, or maybe you're going to be doing an activity that's like super active and you want to make sure it doesn't get snagged on something. The patch, comes in handy then. After trying a bunch of these options out there though, I don't use anything. I've never had an issue with the sensor coming off before the 14 days. In fact, removing a sensor from your skin can be the worst part of the experience, although it's really nothing. I'll shoot a video in 2 weeks when I have to remove my current sensor and talk about how you remove it, as well as options for patches and such if you're inclined to go that route. That's probably enough for today. I can't tell you how helpful wearing a CGM has been to me during trips on the road. It has made managing my diabetes so much easier, and it's reduced my worries about staying on top of where my levels are when I'm on a trip, as I'm riding. As far as packing for a trip, I simply determine how many sensors I'll need to apply during my travels, and then I'll pack that number in my bag. There's nothing special you need to do for packing. If you have any questions about CGMs or specific questions about the Libre 2, I don't know, and maybe why I don't use the Libre 3, let me know in the comments below, and I'll incorporate that in the next CGM video that I do. If you do use a CGM now, let us know below what your experience has been. And if you have any tips or tricks that people might be able to benefit from, let us know that too. In the next video in this series, I'll be discussing storing injectables while touring and showing you a product that I think is a total game changer for diabetic riders. In fact, I'll be using this product on a trip that I'm leaving for next week, where I'll be gone for 5 weeks, going across the country and back. Until then, take care, stay safe, keep those levels under control. Peace.